A few months ago, I embarked on the project of my dreams to build not a sick home lab, but a sick home data center. I'm talking redundant everything, commercial grade power and cooling, enough compute and storage to provide a safe haven of free hosting for my personal projects, nonprofits if they want, and open source developers alike. It's going to be amazing. And I say going to because, man, we've only just started, and the world seems to have other plans. You know all that stuff I mentioned earlier? The data center stuff, the stuff we need? RAM and storage, all-time highs. Cheap used servers, out of stock. Power equipment? How about a global energy crisis? It's not exactly great for little old Jake trying to build a data center in his house, but I can be patient about that sort of stuff. What I can't be patient about is when my single internet connection is down for literal hours. You see, ow. I mean, since I moved into this house, the 3 gig symmetrical fiber connection I have, it's never gone down. But that's not good enough for a data center. You can't just say it's reliable because we haven't had problems. So while I know I need a backup solution, and I promise you, I have something in the works, something way cooler in the internet realm than I've ever done before on any channel, I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. Something 10 plus gigabit, something triple redundant, something. Just get subscribed, okay? Because you don't want to miss it. It's going to be frickin' sweet. But I need my internet. And since there's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution, I had to make sure it was a good one. Specifically, this cellular router that the folks over at waveform.com sent me. It's got unlimited data, a honkin' antenna. It can automatically bond our main internet connection with the cellular connection that happens inside. It's just that to install it in a way that satisfies my brain, we're gonna need to reorganize the whole rack again.
Do it all over again.
Install my Mac Mini NAS, replace all the Ethernet cables with ones that are long enough, find a way to mount my Mac Studio AI cluster, fix my NAS being noisy, upgrade its cache SSD. And since we're doing all that, I'd be kind of dumb if I didn't upgrade the rack to something that'll actually fit all the servers and equipment that I want to install in it, because that other one is not gonna cut it. So how about brand new 42U, big boy? The shipping to Canada was gonna be like $3,000. But shipping to Washington, which is just about a 20-minute drive from here, that was easy. It was like 200 bucks. So we did that. It's just that I decided to borrow my brother's truck instead of picking up a U-Haul, and it didn't fit in the back. So in order to get it home without taking the entire rack apart, I had to take the RTV sealed toolbox off the back of his truck in the cab so that we could actually fit the rack in the thing. It was an absolute nightmare. Shout out DMS for putting up with my shit, because oh my god, I owe him some beers, I think. Oh my god, it's not gonna fit through the door. Why is it so close? Who built these f***ing doors, man? We haven't even f***ing started yet, and this is already going so wrong. Why don't I own a measuring tape? I have an idea. We can take the wheels off and then put something that slides nicely underneath it so that we can at least slide it through the door, get it to this point where we're at again, and then put one wheel on per corner as we go through it. We have a rack successfully installed in the room. Installed, that is. But I think at this point, I'm just not gonna bother putting the wheels back on. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I need to move it? But that's later Jake's problem. I'm just thinking what if I need to access the back? I think we need to put the wheels back on. Boy. Hey, there we go. Now we're rocking and rolling. Pretty cool, huh? Even though this rack is very nice, it's not really my dream rack. We need a lot more space than my old rack provides. A bigger rack has extra room on the sides for cable management. I don't exactly know how great the sealed front is gonna be for airflow. It does have these exhaust fans up here, which is cool, but there's only really intake at the top here and at the bottom. So yeah, we have a lot to do. And the tricky part of all of this is that I have an editor who happens to be editing right now, which means we need to make sure that whatever downtime we have to have is as short as humanly possible. We should be able to avoid pretty much any real downtime on the internet thanks to the pair of redundant enterprise fortress gateways I installed last time around. With those, we can just take the backup one out, install it in the rack, get everything cabled up how it's supposed to be, and then just yoink the power from the primary, and it should just automatically fail over. Then we move the primary to the new rack, plug it in, and it should just kind of swap back without really any downtime. Maybe a couple seconds at the most. The same cannot be said for my NAS down here. It is very single point of failure, so that is just gonna have to go down. I messed up and forgot to buy rack studs. That's a good plan. Time to insert a 500,000 cage nuts. I hate these things. They are not my friend. And now, we install, this Ubiquiti WAN switch. If you're not familiar, it's basically just a 3-port 10 gigabit switch. 1, 2, 3. And this allows you to split your incoming internet connection from your ISP, you see right there, into 2 ports to plug in to 2 routers like we have, in a very transparent way. I will admit, you can achieve the same thing with literally any managed switch by just taking 3 ports and putting them on the same untagged VLAN with nothing else. That just allows it to be like its own little virtual thing and pass the packets around. But these are cheap, and I wanted each internet connection to have its own splitting mechanism that was separate. So we didn't have like one switch point of failure that handled splitting both internet connections. That would be not ideal. Although, hold on a second. You know, I hadn't really thought about this, but the waveform.com box has multiple LAN side ports. So I might not even need a second WAN switch for now. I'm gonna install both anyways because I might get a Starlink later.
Thank you.
What am I doing? Have I ever installed anything in a rack before? I'm not in the right hole. Oh, I wish I had rack studs right now. Beautiful. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more things to put in. And now, for the fun part, I'm gonna unplug my backup router. I'm not even gonna tell my editor because that way I'll know if it worked. Or they're just slacking. That's also distinctly a possibility. Either way, I win.
Stop. Put the fucking headphones in.
I've taken some longer cables and patched them all in exactly as our backup gateway was when it was in the rack, just over here. Now, you picking up what I'm putting down here? Once this is turned on, I should be able to just yank the power out of that router and we'll maybe lose like 2 seconds of packets and it should just pick right back up on this one, over there. Before we can move my fiber ONT, that's the box that takes our passive optical fiber and gives us an RJ45 connection, I guess I should set up the cellular, because then we can move both at the same time. Ish. And not lose internet at all. Ish. Maybe. Waveform.com doesn't actually manufacture these. This is a PepLink product. They're just providing you with the cellular service, the implementation, help setting it up, and maybe some antennas, because despite there being 4 of them, inside your house doesn't usually have the best cell reception. So we're gonna wanna put an antenna outside or at least in the window. Like this one, the Quad Mini from Waveform, low profile 4x4 MIMO antenna. Yeah. What do you, whoa. This is supposed to just go in the window? How does that not get destroyed? What? Whoa. I mean, that's pretty low profile, right? It's got a little stand. They've got a pole mount if you're putting it on a pole. Suction cups for sliding windows. Don't place the cable over the sliding rails. How? I don't think this is gonna work, to be honest, but I'm gonna try. It's working on the one side. I mean, I think what they meant by don't put it on the rails is probably exactly what I'm doing right now. If I get this in here and it works still, honest to God miracle. Oh, I feel so bad for this cable. Oh, I feel it like binding. Oh, that was so monumentally cursed, but it's in. Does it work? I probably should have cleaned the window first, but I mean, it's on there. We got antenna 1 going into cable 1. Slide the condom over. And now it's waterproof. Now we just have to repeat it 8 times. Normally I'd say, you wanna make sure you have a drip loop down here so that the water drains off from the lowest point and not into the house. Except, I mean, just look at it, man. It's gonna drip into the house. If I were smart, I would have asked for like an indoor cable for this side that wasn't enormous, but I didn't. Listen, Marcus believed in us. Even more than you do, Andrew. He's a good guy. You dick. Because this is designed as an all-in-one solution, it also has Wi-Fi. Oh, hey, it's on. The cellular light is blinking though. That's not a good sign. I still don't have internet, but the cellular light is green now. I do have internet. Oh shit, dog. All right. I mean, it's still cellular latency, but 100 meg down over cellular in my area, that's huge. Listen, when I'm on my phone, 6 megabit. I mean, I'm inside, don't get me wrong, but that's where I need the service. Damn, I can't believe we got over 100 meg, dude. That's crazy. Of course, 100 megabit down, 30 up is not gonna cut it for a data center. This is kind of just a temporary solution. I have some big plans. They're gonna be huge, but for now this will do. And we've barely even started the rest of this. The other really cool thing with this waveform box is that it does automatic bonding. Now, the specifics depend on which plan you get. It is an ongoing service. They provide the cellular plan for you. Whatever other device you plug in, it is gonna handle connecting those two internet connections together to get you the most possible speed while also trying to give you the most stable connection. We're not gonna use it because that box only has 1 gig cable. So instead, we're gonna handle that inside our Ubiquiti routers by adding it as a failover WAN. And now we unceremoniously unplug my router. I'm switched. See, look, the internet didn't go down the whole time. Look at that. Sick. Let's get the other one in here. Our primary gateway's back in, patched in, and now it still says network offline, but it's working. It didn't fail back over that nicely. I don't honestly know why. That's something I kind of need to look into. Maybe yell at Ubiquiti to fix it. But if we look at the glass half full, we already kicked the editor off, so now we can move the switch and move my NAS without creating more downtime. Yay! Do you want a head scratchy? I need to get the NAS out of here. Oh, also the Mac Studios. Oh God. These Mac Studios, by the way, are so cool. They've each got 512 gigabytes of unified memory, which means combined with the Thunderbolt cable here and some fancy software called EXO, they get combined into a 1 terabyte pool of unified memory for running local AI models. It's really cool. You can run models that basically no other hardware can, but I need to try to move them without them going offline. Okay, well that went better than I thought. Let's power off my NAS, transport it. It's super light. It only has like 30 hard drives in it. Oh, it's so dusty. Ew. Look at how yucky it is in there. Ew. That's old human. As much as now would be a great time to clean in here, I don't actually own a dusting thing.
What is wrong with you?
But what I do need to get in here for is to install a caching SSD that actually works. The one that I installed in here like years ago, I think was a 256 gig one. You see that down there? Not a great drive to use as a caching SSD because it's dead now. I didn't even realize it died, to be honest. But instead, we're gonna install this SN850X 4 terabyte WD drive. It's got good write endurance, I think, and lots of space. So we should be able to have like at least 2 or 3 full projects in the cache at any given time. And then we'll also install our Mac Mini NAS today, so we have like actual NVMe SSD editing performance. Boom, cache SSD installed. Now we can move it. I guess I have to take it out of the rack, put it on the floor, and then we get the rails and put them in the new rack. NAS plugged in. Your head is really good for this. Look at all these cables. Who did this? We'll be back with you in a moment. And now, fiber box. Which can be a little bit trickier to move than you might think, because while the fiber cables are stronger than a lot of people make them out to be, they're not invincible, and especially don't like getting dirty, which I'm gonna have to try to avoid while pulling it out of the precarious hole I drilled in the side of the rack to get it in here in the first place. It's not gonna be like nicely cable managed, but it will at least make it into the rack. What did I say earlier? There's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution? I just need to get the internet back on. I said 5 minutes and it's been like 2 hours, okay? Now we plug everything else in, starting with the Mac Studios, because another thing those things are great for is running video editing software. But I don't want them just sitting on top of my NAS anymore, so instead, I got some shelves. That should be big enough, right? The rails it comes with are way wider. See that? See how it doesn't fit? After much fuffing about, turns out this shelf from the Unified Toolless rack sits right on top of the Amazon brackets, kind of. So we're just gonna leave it with that for now. I made a ton of progress getting everything cabled up just how I want it. I got our Mac Studios up and running. They're actually connected. The editor's back in. It was only down for like 7 hours instead of 5 minutes, but we're focusing on the positives here. There's a lot to do, okay? I figured I'd show you a little trick I like to use to get an even cleaner look in your patch bay. You see, when you have something that's in the rack that you want to patch into your switch, like say your NAS or your Mac Studios or what have you, you can actually use these little female to female keystone jacks. Have the Ethernet cable come out the back of it into whatever device, and then on this side you can put a nice little neat patch cable. That way you don't have to have the cable coming around here or up through here or whatever. It's just super clean and neat, and I quite like it. I designed this cute little mount that uses some M3 screws and the stock Ubiquiti back mounting plate thing. They just screw into the plastic like this. Super glued some magnets I had on the other side, and now my Enterprise 7 access point is ready and mounted. Mostly. Maybe like your enterprise Wi-Fi. If you're still sharing your office Wi-Fi passwords on the break room fridge or yelling it across the room to Arlo and accounting, I get it, it's easy, but it's not secure because you don't want randoms connecting to your Wi-Fi, right? Luckily for us, Easy Radius from today's sponsor Ketos makes enterprise grade Wi-Fi security easy and fast to set up, especially for Microsoft customers. Easy Radius completely eliminates the need to haphazardly share your Wi-Fi passwords by instead using ultra secure certificates, which aside from just being easier and more secure, also help you meet those pesky compliance requirements your auditors keep asking about. With Easy Radius, when our CFO, Mr. Arlo, logs in for the day, he never has to think about Wi-Fi passwords. It just connects like magic. And it's easy to set up too. With step-by-step guides and videos for almost every major networking stack, you'll be up and running in 30 minutes or less. So why not make your business Wi-Fi more secure and easier to manage today at ketos.io/Jakku, where you can start a 1-month free trial. And as a bonus for my audience, the first 100 people to do so will get $1,000 of premium onboarding support to make it even easier. Enterprise Wi-Fi without the enterprise headache. Very nice. I didn't have to rerun the Ethernet. The cables that I ran before are actually long enough to make it up in here, even with the ability for me to move it around like this. I just have to run a few more cables, tidy things up a little bit. Later, Jake has to replace these black ones with white ones because they just, holy, I don't even need to explain myself. And then, look at how beautiful this is, woohoo! There's a giant gaping space where I still haven't put the NAS in there, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, actually I still don't like this part. Whatever, it's close enough. Now we can try our cellular failover, finally. Hey, there it is, Rogers Wireless Cellular. I've got it configured on the first port, which is the 2.5 gig port. By default, it's gonna be in the failover only mode, which basically just goes, if WAN 1 is offline, whoo, switch everything over to WAN 2. And then once WAN 1 comes back online, switch it back. I got my laptop pinging 1.1.1 Cloudflare DNS, and let's unplug the internet. I think the top one's the fiber. We lost a ping, 4, 5, 6, 7, 30 seconds is the threshold for it to consider it offline by default. So I'm gonna change the ping interval to 1 second, and then that should allow me to change the time period down. Looks like the minimum is 5. And you'll probably wanna leave the server condition set to all. That means that both of these test servers need to show as offline for it to consider that the internet is offline. There's also load balancing, which you might wanna use if you have, say, connections of similar quality, or maybe you don't have ones that are that great quality, but you have like 4 of them that are all kind of mediocre, and you just want to spread the connection out as best you can. I don't want to use the cellular unless I have to. Why does it think it's offline? What do you mean? Oh, right, it's unplugged. Sorry, I forgot. It's back up, and let's test our new SLA rule. Hopefully it fails over a little bit faster. 1 ping, 2 pings, 3 pings.
我在北京。
Done. 4 down pings and it switched over. That's way better. I can live with 5 seconds of downtime. That's totally fine. This is so sick. I wish I could have, 2, 3, 4 fiber connections, but for now, I guess I'm just gonna have cellular backup. Hey, would you look at that? It's beautiful. I think, at least anyways. We got so much done today. Let me take you for a tour. It's already so much better that I can just move the rack around and access it from all the different sides. But what I also like is that all the switching equipment up here is at arm height. I don't have to worry about crouching down on my 24U rack and messing around with the cables there. We've got so much more capacity. I've got the Mac Studios in here ready for future AI workloads like making the ultimate home smart assistant. Get subscribed so you don't miss that. We even got the Mac Mini NAS in here. You see that? Hey, I wasn't bullshitting when I said I was actually gonna use this thing. It's got two 6.4 terabyte Kioxia mixed-use CD6 NVMe SSDs in these enclosures. And then we've got our 25 gigabit network card over here. But it should be super fast and enough space to store the couple projects that we're actively working on. And then boom, I've got my big hard drive NAS for everything else, which also, of course, is faster now. We've got cellular backup. I'm so stoked. I just want to say that I appreciate all of you so much. If y'all weren't around to watch these shenanigans, I wouldn't have this rack, let alone what will eventually be something that we can call a data center in my frickin' house. This is just one rack, but maybe we'll end up with two racks. And redundant power. That's gotta be the next video, for sure. I can't even run any more servers, even if I wanted to fill this full of compute. I am literally maxed out on the power circuit in here. What do you think, Arlo? He just likes it because it's warm in there. Pretty much anytime I leave the house and come home, he's sitting on top of the old rack because it's just nice and toasty. He's not gonna be able to do that anymore, which is kind of sad. Maybe we gotta put some like cat steps on the side of the rack so we can get up top. You know what? I never plugged the fans in. Those are so loud. Oh my God, why are they so loud? I'm gonna have to put some Noctuas in there. Get subscribed, hit the like button, comment down below what you wanna see, and see ya the frickin' heckin' later, all right? Right, Arlo? Come get the finger, you twat.